it looks like Noda is going to be your winner of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Is your champion. JJ splits the middle, gets past both drivers. It's home on the range here. 4 weeks ago in this great FRL Season 7. And ladies and gentlemen, you find us at my home Grand Prix, Circuit of the Americas. 3.4 miles, 20 turns, absolute action-packed track. And you join us here on a gorgeous Split 2 where we're running in here. Almost through for the season. Hope everyone's having a great day. Unless you're a Ferrari or a McLaren fan, then I hope you're having an even better day than you probably were earlier. Formula One's back. We're here in FRL. IndyCar and NASCAR this weekend. It's a great, great weekend to be a motorsport fan. And I hope everyone agrees with me here. Of course, we are at Circuit of the Americas. COTA, the wonderful, wonderful Austin. I don't know if I should have called this the Austin GP or the US GP anymore. Because, of course, there's three races in the US alone, and now there's 5 races in North America. So I don't know what I should have called this, but I have called it the US Grand Prix because, of course, built in 2012 by Herman Tilke. And so this is one of the infamous Tilke circuits and is known in Formula One. Everyone loves this track. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeehaw, giddy up. Horsey McHorse, all of the great things that come from Austin. And of course, we're already watching here as we have Baran out on track right now. And Baran is trying to put in some times here. And then behind him, you've got Neck Shack that is putting in times. We are going early in on this qualifying session. Of course, if you're new to FRL, my name is Brad. I am one of several commentators that we have here with the league. And of course, this is going to be our Split 2 session. We've got Split 2 and then Split 1 follows immediately after. It is a 18-minute qualifying session, just one session, followed by 50% race here. Wonderful, wonderful time. And of course, that is going to be... How many laps will this race be today? I wish I had remembered. Okay, don't ask me. You know what? That's fine, because I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, 3.4 miles, lots of good action going through, and we are looking at 12 drivers here in this Split 2 race, so this should be a fairly good race that we watch here. The early time so far, we've got Debe, who is out with a 1:34.3. We have Frantic, who is currently pushing through on a lap, looking very, very good so far here. Of course, if you're a McLaren fan and you didn't get to watch the race today, you didn't miss a lot. So let's hope you can pull for the papayas here in FRL and see if they can put in a little bit better of a time than they did in real life, of course. And Frantic is looking at a 1:35.1 to kick off time. Of course, evening qualifying here in Austin. And absolutely gorgeous track to enjoy. We're looking here at Mumamek, who is coming through in the Ferrari. Coming around this right-hander into this double left, turn 19 and 20. You can see there, just got to watch the track limits, doing very well there. Ride the curbs all the way down. Watch the sausage curbs on the right, flat out. And then Mumamek comes across with a 1:35.8. Of course, these sausage curbs have taken out drivers in the past. Of course, had one of the Formula W drivers, Jamie Chadwick, who ramped a sausage curb, came down, and actually broke her back. So sausage curbs, very controversial, but very, very deadly if you hit them the wrong way, and drivers are going to be doing their best to avoid them. Marios is still looking to put in a lap time here in the Williams to kick things off. And then, of course, Juro and Bernard are still looking to put in times as well. They're currently on outlap. Juro is just now starting a push lap. So, but as we follow along here with the drivers, and Marios comes out final sector, 1:34.9, currently provisionally P3. And of course, if you are interested in joining FRL, as always, you can do !Discord in the chat, and then that will get you a link to our Discord. You can jump in and join us there, and then from there, just sign up. Pick a number, pick a split, sign up to be a reserve driver. We'd love to have you out on track. Few races left here in this season, and then of course we'll be queuing up for the next season. Formula 20 F1 23 just got announced, so that should be very exciting as well. We don't know when that is going to come out. We just know it's coming soon. Codemasters have finally announced it, and I know that all of us here at FRL are very excited to see that come through. Juro is very excited to get this lap going here, and Juro is going to come across with a 1:04.0 coming through the middle sector, so down just a little bit on those middle sector times that we've been seeing other drivers put in, but not too far off the pace of that middle sector. And as we watch, Juro here is going to come around. Final couple of corners. And where is Juro going to land? Juro was really a couple of tenths down in the middle sector from what I can tell. Fastest middle sector belongs to Pink. And then Juro comes across the line, puts it in P6 with a 1:35.3. A very, very good job there. And now Bernard, only driver to not put in a lap, currently in the pits. Next Shack is on an outlap here. We're going to jump up board with Pink, who is currently pushing very, very hard. Currently, our best sectors, Sector 1 and 2 belongs to Debe. Sector 3 belongs to Baran. So it looks like this is going to be a Red Bull versus Aston Martin day. Real reflection of real life. We'll see here if Baran can do a little bit of a Fernando Alonso, and if Debe is going to be able to bring a little bit of heat here. And Debe, of course, running reserves here in Split 2, not a full-time Split 2 driver. Of course, coming off of Saudi Arabia here for the Saudi Arabia GP, Kier, who won that. Kier has 3 wins in that Mercedes. Absolute domination coming from Kier to currently sit P3. Kier, of course, not with us this weekend at the time. I believe Kier is supposed to be queuing in with us here later. Potentially, of course, Andre has a quali ban, so that is why we're missing another driver. We're looking through at the Drivers' Championship. It is Aston Martin, McLaren, Alpine, Alfa Romeo, Williams, Mercedes, Ferrari, Haas, AlphaTauri, and Red Bull are currently bottom of the Constructors' Championship here in FRL. Currently, Baran is lighting up the timing charts. He was purple Sector 1. We're trying to see if Baran is going to have a little bit more to give here as we go through. Baron comes across purple middle sector, up by nearly half a second in the middle sector alone. So this should be a very impressive time. This could even be in the 133s based on how Baron's looking. And of course, we still have half of qualifying left to put time in here. As Baron rounds the final corner here, where is Baron going to land? A 133.5, finding almost half a second in the second and third sectors alone. Looking at the sector times, absolutely madness. And of course, we have Debe, who is on a very, very slow lap right now. We'll see if Debe is going to push through. Looking at more sector times here, you can see that Frantic is currently on a push lap going through. Frantic currently sitting just a little bit down on times. Frantic rounds around turn 19 there. Got to be careful of the curbs and not run too wide. If you cross over the white line, of course, it is track limits. Same thing there if you hit that sausage curb. Frantic puts himself up into P3 with a 134.5, so a bit of time found there. Debe is currently into the pits. We'll see if Debe comes back out. We've got Velix, who is currently running through and putting in some pretty competitive times. Mumamek, who is also running through and putting in some good times. So just everyone's seeming to find some good pace and improve here as we continue to go. Riding on board here with Velix as Velix goes through turn 12 into turns 13 and 14. Of course, these are some pretty medium speed corners. Nothing too crazy, but just fun enough. And now rounding out here through turn 19, and it looks like Velix is going to dive into the pits here. So we'll jump with Marios. Marios has, I believe that is Juro right in front of him. See, there's Juro's going fairly slow. Marios is going very slow as well. Frantic's going into the pits. It seems like a lot of drivers into the pits now, winding up getting ready to put in more push laps. That is going to be Juro, who was off the track there trying to stay out of the way. I believe they were both trying to stay out of the way of Pink, who is currently out going through a push lap there in the Silver Arrow of the Mercedes. See, very slow getting out of the way there, so maybe not on a push lap. Maybe I'm just a little bit crazy. We're kind of watching here. We've got several drivers in the pits, several drivers out at the moment. A lot of these drivers, it seems, are on in laps. And Topove, that's probably not what you wanted to do there. Wah, wah, wah. Sad trombone noises for Topove. Watching here with Debe. Debe having to contend with a little bit of traffic there. Traffic staying out of his way there. That was the McLaren. Neck staying out of the way. No issues there. And Debe was a 1/10 of a second down in the first sector. Currently pushing down the middle sector there. Is going to be behind the Alpine. I believe that is going to be Velix or Kushor. We'll see here. They dive out of the way, though, and Debe hard on the brakes down going into turn number 12. Where is Debe going to be able to put this lap? Middle sector, he was down again. Still 2/10 behind our pole sitter of Baran, but Debe on a pretty good time here, putting in PBs. Here as Debe runs through the final sector and comes around where he is able to land this lap. As Debe comes down, final sector, it's a 134.0, good enough for P2, but still half a second off of Baran. Baran put in a absolute astonishing lap. As we check out Velix here, Velix is winding up to start a lap, I believe. And now we'll jump on board. Let's ride along with Velix for a lap here around Circuit of the Americas. And the big thing here at COTA is the uphill braking turn 1 blind apex. Very, very scary because it is such an aggressive left-hander. And now you get into this sweeping S's section, which is a lot of fun to run through. All of this is just progressively faster as you go until you hit right about here. And then you have to start slowing down a bit, coming down in gears, drop down 5th gear, even 4th gear through, down 3rd gear if you really can't find the grip, all the way through around Velix. Now you're flat downhill, a little bit of a left-hander here, and now you've got this section that opens up right here, this left-hander, and you cut it again, extremely tight apex. It's nearly 180-degree corner, and now it is flat out down this backstretch. So just continuing to pick up speed, nearly 330 Ks, almost 200 miles an hour down by the braking zone, braking very, very late. Again, another hard left-hander, over 100 degrees. And now Velix, purple middle sector, up by 8 milliseconds, putting in a very, very impressive time here as we follow through. But this 3rd sector, this is the technical sector. This is where things get tricky. You have to be very, very precise and go through all of your corners, hit every apex, hold on to it. You've got this long sweeping right-hander that leads to this double left-hander right here of turn 19. Run through turn 19, and then you're going to kick turn 20 right here. Hard left-hander. Velix is going to come down, keeps it just in track limits there. And Velix with a 134.620. So Velix losing a lot of time, 3rd sector. Velix actually losing... Velix losing some pretty significant time there, and unfortunately that does cost Velix an opportunity. 30 seconds remaining here. Debe has called it quits on qualifying. Bernard has called it quits on qualifying. So now we are left with the drivers on the track to see if anyone can light up the timing sheets here as we watch through. Baran, of course, our current pole sitter, who is running down, currently down on his lap. And let's see, 5 seconds left in qualifying here. So if a driver hasn't started a lap, this will be their session over. And now checkered flag falls. Who is going to cross the line here? Who got over the line in time? It was Topolve. And now we're going to just ride on board here and watch as we enjoy the drivers finishing their sessions here. Of course, you've got Kushort, who will be the first driver to finish the lap, and I believe Kushort is down pretty significantly. Going to dive it into the pits here, call it a day. Franek is the next driver to come through. Franek hasn't put anything impressive on the timing charts, has been down a bit. Franek is into the pits as well. Now you have Juro coming through. Juro is going to come around up 2/10 currently, and Juro good enough for P9 there. Jump on board here with Pink. Pink is running through. Pink is currently down on timings as well. Comes around, but is able to pull it out. P5 found all of that time in the 3rd sector. Now you've got Mumamek running very, very wide. That is Mumamek's qualifying over. Let's see here. You've got Topolve, who is our final driver through. As we continue to watch, a couple more drivers left across the line, and I don't see either of them improving. So we'll wait on Topolve to cross the line here, and then that will be where we call our qualifying. So, and Topove is going to dive it into the pits, go early on, and then that will be where we call it. So Baran, Debe, Marios, Mumamek, Pink, Franek, Kushor, Tipove, Velix, Juro, Nekshak, and Bernard are going to be our 12 drivers in. Of course, we do have a couple drivers that weren't able to join us in qualifying that will be joining us in the race. So stick around with us here, and then we will be right back. So as the drivers get their setups ready and we get ready to go racing here for 28 laps, I believe it is. 28 laps of great action here in COTA. 3.425 miles, 20 turns, 2 DRS zones here in COTA. One down the main straight, one down the back straight. And the big thing with COTA is it's a lot of very sharp left-hand turns. Like, when you look at the track map, it's a clockwise circuit, but most of your major turns are all beyond 120 degrees, which is very unusual for a track this style. I mean, you have turn 1, turn 11, and turn 12, which are your 3 big braking zones, and they all go into significant left-handers, which I think should be interesting for these drivers to set up for. Should be fun to really watch them figure out how they're gonna handle this track. And the run up to turn 1 is always pure chaos, so should be a great thing to watch here. We are getting set up and we are about half a second away from things going green, and we are gonna have 5 red lights, and we are underway here for the US Grand Prix here in Split 2, and you can see things get very busy very, very fast. We're already 4 wide. We'll talk about strategy and different things in a second. And that is the Aston Martin of Baran, who is going to dive it in early. You can see going wide there. I believe that was Topove who had to take it wide, or it might have been Kushor or Velix as they go through. And now we're single file as we run down the line here through the hill for the first time. Pit stops, 1 stop or 2 stop, nobody really knows. Of course, safety cars do change everything here in FRL. 28 laps of action at COTA, and we'll see if they opt to make that 1 stop or that 2 stop work. But as we go through, things are fairly calm here for the start of the race. Drivers playing very, very nice. Nobody going for anything too risky. And now, as I say that, you got Pink diving up the inside of Franek here into the left-hander for P6. You can see side by side through the back half of the field, coming in through turn 11 there. And as we run down the back straight here into the hard braking zone of turn 12, you can see Pink trying to chase down Franek, thinking about a dive up the inside, not close enough, but is going to go very late on the brakes there and still try to make that stick. But now Franek's going to have the inside for these next couple of corners, and is Pink going to be close enough to put pressure? He's not. He has to back out of it, and there we go. And now in the back here, side by side, you have Velix in the Alpine, Bernard in the AlphaTauri, and then there is Kushor, Velix teammate, up in front as well. So they are looking side by side, and they are going to be in the mix as well here inside, all through these right-handers. And now we hit the left-handers of 19 and 20. Is Velix going to be able to hold on? Velix has to back out of it there, and now you're going to have Bernard, who is looking to take advantage of this as well. And then, oh, don't discount Juro there in the AlphaTauri. Juro's looking to get in the mix as well and go through. Is he going to look at a dive here into turn 1? He's not. See a lot of yellow stripe medium tires and a lot of white stripe hard compound tires in the mix this weekend here in Split 2. So drivers opting for very different strategies. Debe opted for the medium tires, trying to get a significant run here through, but isn't able to make that happen. We've got yellow flags in Sector 1 and Sector 2. I believe that is going to be for Velix, who has spun. Let's get our track map up here, and then we'll be able to tell you what is for what. Here we go. Now we've got Debe run down on Baran. Is he close enough to make this pass happen? Of course, no DRS until the end of this lap. It was discussed today during the Bahrain Grand Prix that, oh, Debe must have been a little bit of contact there, because Debe spins and is going to drop way down the pecking order here. I'm not sure what happened there. If it was maybe just slight contact wheel to wheel, or if maybe Debe just lost the rear wheel. That's a very unusual place to spin there for Debe. Now Debe's going to be struggling to get back underway and has a lot of time to catch up, dropping all the way into last place now. Big thing with Debe is it's always a little degree of luck, and it seems like with Debe sometimes that luck just doesn't land. Now as we continue through, that is going to be Pink, who dove way off the track there. I'm not sure what happened with that. If there's maybe contact, Bernard and Kushor battling side by side here, and Bernard is able to get that pass done into turn one. Baran and Marios are going to be the big battle here at the front of the grid. Yellow flag sector 3. Pink has retired in the pit lane now. So as we watch here, Bernard leading Kushor by just 0.4 of a second. Then half a second back is Next Shack, and then 0.3 of a second back is Juro. So these drivers are going to be very, very close. This is the battle for the middle of the running midfield teams. So we'll see where these drivers land as this race progresses. We're lap 3 of 28 now. Continue to watch here as Kushor tries to defend back from Next Shack. Next Shack looking up the inside here, and a little bit of contact, I believe, there. Both drivers getting away okay, though. And Next Shack still trying to push to get in front of Kushor. And running wide, Juro in the background wiping out. Not sure what happened there. And now Bernard also spinning. So drivers having a very, very bad time here at COTA. 3 laps of 28 in. I have a feeling that for some of these drivers, this is going to be a long 28 laps to try to survive. Big winners so far: Next Shack, Bernard, Kubu, and Gamer, all up 4 positions from where they started. Of course, Debe, the big loser, down 11 places. Pink has already DNF'd out. And everyone is on either the medium or the hard tires with yet to make a pit stop. Next Shack and Kushor still battling it out here. Next Shack's able to get ahead. Hold on to P6 at the moment. Kushor is still sitting in P7. And just a reminder, this is only the battle for P6. It's heating up here. It feels like it's the battle for the lead, but it really is just the battle for P6. So leader Baran 1.5 seconds up on Marios at the moment. Currently just kind of biding time, just running a nice, clean, relaxed race. Marios on the hard tires, just maybe playing a little bit of tire conservation, just wanting to kind of hang back and see if he's able to take advantage of the over-undercut. Moving back here in P3 with Topolve half a second back there, and then Frantic 0.7 back. So this battle for P3 is going to be far from over as well as we continue to progress through. Kushor and Next Shack just will not give each other a break at all. Now run up the hill here is Kushor going to be close enough to make a move. This time he's not close enough, so Next Track able to comfortably stay here in front. But now, of course, Frantic, Topolve, and Mumamek following each other through the dirty air here through this middle sector is very hard. But Topolve fastest first sector so far of anyone we've seen, so Topolve trying to put the pressure down and run away just a little bit, and just a little too much. Topolve spinning there, coming down the hill. Now Topolve is going to drop way back, and we'll see, is Topolve able to get going again? Topolve is, and now we have a VSC deployed because I believe Topolve was just stationary a little bit too long there. VSC's been deployed temporarily. I don't think anyone's going to try to pit yet because I don't think they're going to get back around by the time everyone goes to go into the pits. Leaders are running through. Is anyone going to dive into the pits here? You can see Baran is going to stay going. Marios is going to stay going. Mumamek stays going. Frantic is also staying going as well. So it doesn't look like anyone's going to opt for an early pit stop here. Everyone's sticking to a one-stop medium to hard or hard to medium, I believe. And now we are back going underway here. So we're back through, and it looks like Kushor got a very good jump off of to go there. Topove Euro Gamer into the pits, and everyone is still going through. And Kushor is 0.2 of a second back currently on next track, trying to apply the pressure as we run through down into the S's section, running down, and now it's downhill braking into turn 11. Is he going to be close enough for a dive? I don't believe so, but he is going to have DRS, which is going to help significantly going down the backstretch here if he's able to have enough traction to get away. And of course, you've got Bernard in the background now. 0.7 of a second back. Bernard is going to be looking to get in the mix of this as well. Kushor going down the inside here. Not close enough in order to take advantage, and is going to currently sit back in P6. A little bit of a snap there, but able to keep things going underway. Still has a very good run on the McLaren of next track, trying to compete here for P5. As we watch, we've got the quadruple right-hander, as I like to call it. It's 17, turns 16, 17, 18 here into these double left-handers. As you can see here, Nekshak just trying to defend against Kushor and Bernard as much as possible. But Kushor with a very, very good run off the final straight here. But Bernard also gets a very good run. So this is a big three-way battle here. Who is going to take the best line? We see here it is going to be Bernard looking to the outside, trying to switch back. Kushor's through, still in P6. Nekshak still in P5 here as we watch them chase each other down. Lap 7 of 28. We're a quarter of a way through this race. Once again, running down the backstretch here, and we're watching as Kushor with DRS has a little bit closer of a run here, is going to be laid on the brakes up the inside. Is it going to be enough? Nekshak has the run on the outside, though, and is able to cut back across the track, defend that. Nekshak holding on to P5 yet again. Those medium tires have got to be complaining, though, and very upset as we continue to go through. I don't know if Kushor's hard tires are going to have enough in them, though, in order to take advantage of the delta that may be forming. Really is just a matter of wait and see. And then here again, down the main straight, up in turn 1, still ahead Nekshak is of Kushor. You can see as they run down here, that is through turns 2 into turn 3. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This whole just S's section is brutal on the tires because you're just left, right, left, right. It's very, very flowy, but it can be very, very rough on the tires. You can see Nekshak probably feeling the effects here as Kushor is now 2.5 tenths back. So we'll see who is able to get a better run. Kushor thinks about a dive there on the inside, not close enough to make it happen. And now Nekshak is going to be flat to the line all the way down. And down the back straight here as Kushor has DRS. Is Kushor going to be able to make a move happen? Nekshak's going to look on the inside to defend this time. Kushor a little bit later on the brakes here. Is he close enough? He's going to be on the outside. And he gets squeezed wide there. And then that allows Bernard through in the AlphaTauri. So Bernard up into P6 now. Kushor actually losing a place there, trying to fight Nekshak. And just to add insult to injury, Kushort spinning there through turn 16. I don't think there was any contact with anyone. I think it was just the tires overheating just enough. And that's going to allow Nekshak and Bernard to run away here and try to take off. So now, Nekshak can breathe a little bit better. Tires seem like they're holding on very well here for the drivers as we continue through, so I really wonder if and when we're going to start seeing those first round of green flag pit stops take place. We've got a yellow flag. I didn't see what that was for, so I don't think there's anything to worry about here. So now we're on the run down the back straight, and this time Nekshak, instead of facing a problem from Kushor, is going to have a problem with Bernard in the AlphaTauri. You can see DRS open, deploying batteries, get a look. Look around there a little bit, not close enough in order to make a pass happen there. And now is going to come through and is going to be sitting P6 still, but is still right on the back of Nekshak there by half a second. We're lap 9 of 28, so a third of the way through the race, and things look fairly calm and collected from all the drivers. Debe's worked his way up into P10 after that early spin when he was battling for the lead, so Debe just going to continue to try to be consistent, close some gaps, and work his way back forward here. Baran, our race leader, started on pole with a dominating lead. 3.3 seconds currently is the gap between Baran and Marios. Marios there in P2. You could see just in the shot and absolutely just gone. There goes our race leader, and then comes through Marios. So very, very good day here for Williams, sitting in P2. Franic's up in P3. Again, if you're a McLaren fan, you probably don't want to think about this, but just in case, you've got Franic, who's under pressure from Mumamek, and now you have Nekshak, who's under pressure from Bernard. So the two McLaren teammates both feeling the pressure at the moment from other drivers, but of course, pretty significant gaps forming between the two. 8 seconds between those two battles that are currently happening. So we'll keep our eyes on these as they go through. And as they go through, it is going to be Mumamek on Franic here, and late on the brakes through. The Ferrari has no issues, and I have a feeling we're about to see a repetition of this here, just with slightly different paint schemes. Bernard on the DRS going down, not able to get this pass, but is going to look for the switchback here. And Nekshak is going to cross over, hold him in, and Bernard's going to have to take the inside. Nekshak's on the outside. There they are, side by side still. Now as they run through the left-handers of turn 15 and 16, switchback yet again coming from Bernard. Side by side, very, very close, respectful racing from these two. And now as they hit the right-handers of turn 18, turn 19, or 17, 18, left-hander of 19 here. They're still right behind each other. So Bernard for a second thought he had the pass done, wasn't close enough in order to hold on to it, but you can see just how close the AlphaTauri is there on the back of that McLaren. And we'll see as we run up the hill here towards turn 1, is he going to be able to make a pass? He's right behind him. You can see he's thinking about it, dive to the outside here. Is he going to be able to hold on to this pass? And long way around the outside through turn 1, maybe a little bit of contact, and now they hold on to it side by side yet again, coming through the S's here. And which one is going to be able to come out ahead? It's going to be Nekshak. Bernard wisely backs out of that. And now Bernard's going to be applying the pressure again as we have the run towards turn 11 downhill here, and late on the brakes, and then it's all about the exit here for Bernard. Is Bernard going to be able to get a good enough exit, have enough traction in those medium tires to try to battle this out and bring the pressure on Nekshak? It does not look like it, as he's already dropped back nearly 0.8 of a second on Nekshak. I think he's just battling back, going back, harvesting battery a little bit, trying to relax and give a little bit of space, and then is going to try to bring the pressure here in a short course. Other than the battle between Mumamek and Frantic, this is our closest battle on track at the moment. All the other drivers have spread out. They're pretty relaxed and all running their own race, trying to just hold on at the moment and survive here, make these tires last as long as they can. Debe went into the pits for a set of soft tires, a very, very weird time to pit. And now pit stops are going to open up here. Bernard going into the pits, coming off the set of mediums. I would imagine going onto a set of hards here with 15 laps to go. You see lots of pit crews poised and ready here. Ferrari's pit crew is ready. You've got Alpine's pit crew ready. There we go. Into the pits, out of the pits for Bernard. Bernard going onto a fresh set of hard tires as we expected. And as we continue to watch, who else is coming into the pits here? Looks like it is going to be Juro, next car into the pits. And now Juro in that Alfa Romeo team into the pits. Goes onto a set of hards. Is going to be right back out. It's going to settle down for P13 there. We're starting to see time penalties be applied as well. Marios has one. Kubu has one. Velix has one. Those are all going to be for corner cutting. And, of course, lots of warnings have been handed out as well. It looks like our race leader, Baran, has 2 track limits warnings to his name as well. So gonna have to be careful with track limits as things go through. We all know safety cars can change the course of this race very, very quickly, especially if the drivers aren't careful here. We'll jump on board here with the McLaren of Frantic. Frantic trying to chase down Mumamek there. 11 laps on those medium tires, continuing to try to push. Two more drivers into the pits here. It looks like Neck Shack's into the pits there for McLaren, going onto a set of hard compound tires. And then you have Kubu, who is into the pits as well, going onto a set of hard tires. So several drivers in for pit stops at the time. It looks like this is going to be where our pit windows are starting to open. Some people pitting a little bit sooner than others. And now, who wins out on this battle between Neck Shack and Bernard? It looks like it is Bernard there. 1.3 seconds the gap. Debe puts in a fastest lap on soft tires, which, again, interesting strategy to be on the soft tires right now. Neck Shack struggling to warm those tires up coming out and is going to be back just a bit there into P10 now. So losing out a bit on the battle with Bernard that he had going on, and is now going to try to chase down Topove. Get it past down. We've got a yellow flag here, and that is going to be for... Who is that off on the side? That is going to be Velix that has spun. Velix is now going to just slot back in there behind the group that passes him and try to hold on here and just stick to the back of the points paying places. Neck Shack finds himself up into P8, is going to try to set off to chase down Kubu, but then it's 4 seconds to Bernard, and now you've got Frantic and Mumamek. This is the battle on pit lane. Who comes out ahead here? Mumamek does come out ahead of Frantic, and we'll see how significant of a difference that is, and if these drivers lose any more places. They are going to lose out to Kushor there in P3, but where are they going to be at compared to Bernard? It's going to be nearly 20 seconds, the difference. There's a pretty significant difference there. So Kushor has 22 seconds that he needs to make up on Marios. You can see just how significant that difference is. 4.2 seconds the gap between Baran and Marios. Marios to Kushor is 22.3. So very, very large gap the front two have made against the rest of the field here. And they are just kind of cruising their way through. Brannick currently sitting 0.6 of a second back on Mumamek here, trying to chase down Mumamek for what will be the P4 position. Of course, our top three have yet to pit. But even then, Baran and Marios having 22 seconds on Kushor and not yet pitting is scary. We'll see how long those three decide to run these hard compound tires. And of course, Velix currently sitting P10, 13 lap old hard tires as well. Baran with a connection issue leaving the session. Very, very weird. As we continue here, we're on lap 15 of 28. We've crossed half race distance. No safety cars yet. One VSC has been seen, but overall things are fairly calm here in the world of Split 2. A couple of just solo spins, some aggressive racing between Bernard and Nextrack, some good side-by-side action, but nothing too crazy, too aggressive. We're starting to see things pick up a little bit here with Kubu, Nextrack, and Topolve. Those drivers all separated by less than a second. So, and one of the big things here is with Baran disconnecting, Baran is going to lose a bit of pace because the AI do not race as aggressively as regular drivers. But how much is Baran going to lose here? Gap already lost out on P1. Where is this gap to P2 going to fall? Or is the AI going to do something crazy like pit? Really, it remains to be seen. But we'll keep our eyes on that as we go through. And now Kubu into the pits here. Kubu was in that battle. Kubu actually retiring out of the session. So we've now lost 2 drivers due to retirements. We're now down to 12 drivers here in this race. So Kubu out of the session here. That is going to be game over for Kubu. And that should be... Kubu's ghost staying well in the way there. That was weird. Anyways, we're now down to 12 drivers here. Everybody separated by a pretty decent margin of at least a second. And now Baran is back. Baran lost 6 seconds in that time that Baran was disconnected. That is a significant chunk of time to be lost over just a couple of laps. So now Baran is going to have to fight very, very hard to try to earn that time back. And we'll see if Baran is going to be able to pull out some time here. Marios into the pits onto a set of medium tires this time. And Baran should be able to try to push a little bit, use up the last of those hard compound tires. And then it should be a good battle here for the lead to the end of the race. Marios pitting in, but of course Marios having a penalty for corner cutting and still has a penalty to serve. And now we just kind of watch this battle here. Mumamek half a second back on Kushor, trying to battle through. And Nextrack and Bernard battling through again as well. So Bernard losing out against Nextrack. And now Topolve is going to be in the mix as well. So 10 laps left to go here. 11 laps actually. And things are heating up pretty significantly as we watch through. Marios has 11.7 seconds back on Baran, but is on a fresh set of mediums, which is going to be significantly faster than Baran. We'll see if our race leader opts to go into the pits at the end of this lap. Mumamek half a second back here on Kushor, trying to chase down Kushor, and we'll see if he's going to be close enough in order to make a pass happen. Over 200 miles an hour here, going into the braking zone, hard on the inside. He's going to cut it very, very sharp here, and is still going to be side by side here You can see giving plenty of room to Marios here, or to Kushor in the battle for P3, and is able to get the pass done here. That is going to be Mumamek up into P3 on those fresh hard compound tires. Kushor just not having the grip to defend, and now Kushor will be running through, just trying to hang on to the back of that Ferrari, and actually is going to call it quits there and say, all right, I'm into the pits. Thank you very much. Our race leader, Baran, in onto a set of mediums. Kushor is going to be into the pits. Of course, it is about a 25-second pit delta here. And now in onto a fresh set of mediums to finish this race. So we will have some drivers on mediums, some drivers on hards. And we've got Debe in the Red Bull, who is randomly on the soft compound tires. And now where is Kushor going to come out? Kushor is going to come out in the midst of this battle here with Nekshak and Bernard and Topove. Topove is going to be able to get his way by, I believe. Actually, no, Topove ends up behind the Alpine of Kushor, which is very inconvenient there. All things considered, that Topove was in that battle with Bernard and is now going to lose out a lot of time being stuck behind Kushor. You can see already nearly 2 seconds lost. And Topove and Velix are going to be trying to chase down Kushor. Topove and Velix actually swapping positions here. Topove actually spinning at the top of the hill, going towards turn 10. And now you have Franek here, 4th place, 0.8 of a second back, trying to chase down Baran there. MP3, Baran, of course, on fresh mediums, Franek's on hard tires. Baran was leading the race for a very, very long time, so Baran, we know, has a lot of pace and is going to be trying to chase down for the race lead again. Less than 10 laps to go here. And who is going to come out the winner here in Austin? You watch here as Baran has closed this gap down to 0.2 of a second in the midst of just the first sector here on Mumamek. Mumamek on the hard tires just doesn't have the grip to compete with brand new mediums, so we'll see when Baran is able to get this pass done. See Baran extremely aggressive here on the back of Mumamek as he goes down and through it. Is going to look inside here. Is he going to be able to get this pass done? He is, with absolutely no issues, and is through. So now Baran needs to make up 8.5 seconds in about 9 laps time in order to be in the lead. Nekshak needs to defend like a lion here, as we have Bernard and Kushor behind Nekshak that are going to be looking to chase him down for a top 5 finish. And I think this might be where we see the battle start to get competitive here. Kushor 0.3 of a second back on Bernard coming out of the final corner. 0.2 of a second back. Is he going to go for the pass? Bernard's going to look defensive up the inside. Kushor is going to go a long way around the outside. Isn't able to hold on to the line there, but is just close enough on the inside that he's got a front wing in the mix now. You can see they're side by side coming through here into the S's, and it looks like Kushor is going to have to settle back here and slot behind Bernard going through the S's, but still just a couple tenths of a second back. And Kushor on the fresh Meteor tires, it is just a matter of time of when he is able to get this pass done, if he's able to get this pass done. Continue to watch this battle here. Bernard half a second back on Nexttrack, and Kushor is half a second back on that. So this battle is heating up very, very well. Some pretty significant gaps in the field. Of course, Gamer, who it looks like just spun out in Sector 1, is not having a great time with this race. And now Gamer is actually on pace to be lapped here by Marios. And as we continue to watch here, as that is occurring, Nexttrack, Bernard, Kushor, this is a big battle. You can see there Bernard looking around the outside against Nexttrack, swap back to the inside. He's going to try to hold on to it. Kushor is just sitting in the back looking to pick up the pieces of what's left. And it looks like at the moment, nothing crazy is happening. Debe's into the pits here on those soft tires, goes onto a fresh set of soft tires. So Debe looking to just run these soft tires to the end through, just driving, getting some warm-up in, because of course Debe is one of our split one drivers for Williams, and we'll see where Debe is able to land there in Williams. Of course, 7 laps to go here. We're 3/4 of the way through this race at the moment. And at the moment, the big battle here is Nexttrack, Bernard, and Kushor. Kushor, a 1/10 of a second back here on Bernard. He's going to look on the left-hand side that turns into the inside for the next corner. He's running through. Both drivers have DRS side by side. Who is going to come out of this ahead? Bernard has a nose ahead. A little bit further ahead, Bernard is trying to defend it there from Kushor. And is going to be on the inside. Kushor's going to have to back out of it. Stays on the inside here. Bernard runs very wide, trying to switch back through turn 16, but isn't close enough to make that happen. And as we see, Baran is pumping in fastest laps, has the gap up front down to 5.4 seconds. We'll keep our eyes on that as that continues to come down, because it is coming down by a pretty significant margin every lap. And Bernard opting into the pits here, giving up track position. I'm going to guess this is going to be for a fastest lap attempt. We'll see here as the pit crew stands by ready in the pit lane. You can see the red striped soft compound tires going on here for Bernard, and a front wing change as well. So Bernard picking up front wing damage in that battle there with Kushor, and very unfortunate for him as he has to pit in, loses a position to Topove. I don't think he's going to lose a position to Juro though, which is very fortunate. And I lied, he does lose position to Juro there and comes out in P9. So that's that battle for the top 5 over, but McLaren's chase for a podium is not over yet today. Frantic half a second back here on Mumamek as they run down here through turns 15 and 16, trying to chase through. Bernard puts in a very, very strong Sector 1. So Bernard's bringing those tires up to temp very, very quickly. Watching here, Frantic, DRS open, gonna run around here against Mumamek, looking to the outside, swaps to the inside, extremely aggressive move there from Mumamek to try to defend, and that is gonna put Mumamek and Frantic side by side as they run through. Frantic's gonna back out of it. Mumamek with a very, very late aggressive move there. But that is gonna hold the position there. Mumamek P3 still, Frantic P4. Both drivers have the same old hard tires, so no tire difference there. This is all about pace, skill, and a little bit of DRS help as they continue through. Debe currently pumping at a fastest lap there. Bernard now able to get past Juro, so Bernard up into P8, but 8 seconds to make up in 5 laps is going to be a tall ask here as they run through. Frantic, DRS open. Is he going to be close enough to get this pass done here on Mumamek? You can see Mumamek harvesting the curves as we run down here. Left-hander of turn 12, and not close enough for a pass this lap. He's going to try to wind it up, give it a go again next lap. Kushor, though, is going to be close enough to try to look at a pass on his teammate Nexttrack. Nexttrack staying on the inside. Kushor is going to be on the outside. Kushor backing out of it there, so bit of a gap there as well. 5 laps to go here at the moment. So then checking in with our race leader here. Our race leader, 3.2 seconds up on Baran with 4 laps to go. So Baran potentially going to be able to get something done here to try to get in the mix. You can see the difference there that they have. You can see that gap is still continuing to come down. It's about to be below 3 seconds. So Baran could be in a position, if he can push hard enough, to try to get up to Marios, but I don't know if he can get past Marios, of course, because they're on similar tires, and Baran's going to have to use a lot of tire to try to get past him there. Moving back 15 seconds back on Baran, just kind of hanging out here, trying to defend from Frantic as aggressively as he can. That is Gamer2021, his teammate, who is in the grass there in the end of Sector 1, start of Sector 2. On the run towards turn 11. He's back underway now, so no safety car is being used. Kushor 0.3 of a second back here on Next Shack, trying to push to keep this gap close as they run through turn 11. Who is going to come out ahead of that? Frantic is going to be on the inside here of Mumamek. Frantic up into the podium places here with 4 laps to go. Can he hold on to it here for the rest of the race? He's been trying for several laps to get past Mumamek here. Can he hold on to it in order to survive? You see Kushor still not able to get the pass done here on Next Shack, so Kushor just has a few laps left here to try to get that pass done, and Frantic has to defend as hard as possible here in order for that gap to not open up. Debe here trying to have a run on Juro. Debe on the fresh soft tires shouldn't be a problem at all. Late on the brakes, all the way in. They're side by side, but Debe is going to be just enough ahead that he should be able to take advantage of this here. They're side by side coming through down into 15 and 16. Debe's on the inside. Juro runs it very, very wide, settles in, tries to do a switchback. Debe has enough traction though on those fresh soft tires to get ahead. Debe up into P9 now. Now we continue to watch this battle up front, checking back in with everyone here. Mumamek on Frantic. That gap is opening up to nearly 0.8 of a second through the first sector. First sector here, Kushor. Kushor's got a bit better of a run here than Next Shack and is trying to look at getting a pass done here early. 3 laps to go. He knows that this is about the time he needs to get this done. Baran 1.7 seconds back on Mario, so Baran is pushing very hard. Close to getting within DRS range here. Potentially a final lap push if he can get close enough. Kushor DRS open, gonna look up the left-hand side here on Next Shack. Is he gonna be able to hold on to it? He's got the inside, has to get very, very late on the brakes there through the apex, and is very, very slow and has to back out of it there. So Kushor is gonna be sticking in on P6 for yet another lap. All right, let's see here. Lap 26 of 28. The gap is 1 second between Frantic and Mumamek, and it's half a second between Next Shack and Kushor here as they continue to try to push. Baran has closed that gap to under a second. So Baran is in a position to try to push and get this race win here. Gap is 0.8 of a second now as they run down the backstretch here. Gap is half a second for Baran. It's 0.8 of a second here between Mumamek and Frantic, and between Kushor and Next Shack, it's 0.4 of a second. So these drivers continuing to battle through. Mario's now picking up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, and it looks like here going through the S's, Marios is going to drop back behind Baran. Sorry, not through the S's, but through turns 17 and 18. Going 19 into 20, a very, very different place to pass. So Baran passed Marios here with 2 laps to go for the lead. And now Marios is going to try to push and keep up here to see where he lands. In terms of penalties, Marios has 6 seconds. Baran has 3 seconds. So Baran is more than likely going to have this one on track and in the timings. Frantic 19 seconds back here. Mumamek 8/10 of a second back though on Frantic, and then it's another 12 seconds gap to Nekshak and Kushor, who are just now coming around the final corner. And then you have Topove and Bernard, who are battling extremely hard, another 20 seconds back from that. So you've got 4 little battles in pockets that we're going to keep our eyes on here through these final 2 laps as they go through. Topove currently ahead of Bernard. Bernard, of course, on fresh soft tires, though, so I can't imagine this is going to last too long here as we watch them run up the hill towards turn 1. And we'll see, is Bernard going to be close enough to try to make a pass? He's looking through the outside, long way around. Is he going to have enough grip and be close enough to make this stick? He runs it wide. Is he going to be able to hold on to it? 10th of a second. He's up the inside now, and it looks like when it's all said and done, Bernard is now up into P7. So Mumamek is still trying to chase down Frantic here down the end of the back straight. Still not close enough. Marios and Baran are still battling it out very hard as well. Yellow flag sector 2, that is going to be for a Ferrari that's spun out. I believe that is Gamer as well again. And now, as we start the final lap here between Baran and Marios, Marios a second back on Baran is going to try to hold on to it and stay fairly close as they run through the final sector. But of course, big battles here is the battle for P3 and the battle for P5. Frantic and Mumamek here, 7/10 of a second separating these two. And now Mumamek is going to have to do a very hard push here through the end of the race. You can see his battery on his steering wheel, just 20%. He needs to harvest a bit more here. Try to hold on to it. You can see trying everything in his bag of tricks in order to get past. And here we go through the S's for the final time. You can see he's trying to go through there, trying to get a pass done. Look at Kushor on Nekshak, though. They're very, very close as well. I wish we had side-by-side cameras here in F122 so I could show both of these battles at once. Mumamek half a second back here on Frantic. Kushor half a second back on Nekshak as Kushor and Nekshak run through the S's. Who is going to be able to hold on here and get this done? Marios 1.5 seconds back, so I think that battle for the lead has settled through. They are already going through turn 16 as we're just now exiting turn 11 here with Frantic and Mumamek as they run down the back straight. DRS open. Mumamek, this is going to be one of his final chances. Try to have a pass done. Is he going to try to go late on the brakes? He doesn't. He kind of settles in here. And I think for Mumamek, this is going to be it. As we see our leader rounding the final corner now, Baran, very, very dominating race, even with a slight disconnect issue. Baran is going to come out after 28 laps to be the winner here of the USGP. Marios brings it across P2 even after penalties are applied. And now 20 seconds back, this battle between Frantic and Mumamek has yet to be decided. Same with this battle here for Kushor and Nekshak, which is still going through. But as they round the final corner, Frantic is able to hold off Mumamek long enough that we're able to see Frantic and Mumamek P3, P4, and now Nekshak is trying to fight off Kushor. Of course, 6/10 of a second the gap here, and penalties are going to be applied. So I believe it is, in the end, going to be Kushor coming out ahead of Nekshak after penalties go through. Crossing the line here, Kushor P5, Nekshak P6, and now another 20 seconds back to catch up with Bernard here. Bernard coming through turn 19 into turn 20. And where our Bernard is going to come across here and P7, which is a very respectable time there. Topove comes across P8. Velix will come across P9. Debe, after starting P2 with a very unfortunate race, is going to come across P10 and come across and nab the fastest lap. P11 to Juro. And Gamer was P12 there. Fastest lap goes to Debe with a 1:36.098. Driver of the day goes to Bernard. And that was a fairly relaxed and uneventful USGP. So, and that is going to be how we finish our split 2 races here. Baran on top of the leaderboards. Marios, Frantic, Mumamet, Kushor, Nextshak, Bernard, Topove, Velix, Debe, Juro, Gamer, Kubu, and Pink are going to be our 14 drivers that finish here. Of course, as always, great to watch here. Lots of 1-stops. 4-stop strategy from Gamer, which I think was due to some wing issues. 2 stops from Debe, and 2 stops from Bernard. Everyone else sticking to a 1-stop medium to hard. Lots of track limit warnings given out throughout the race. Ladies and gentlemen, stick with us here for just a little bit, and we'll be back with Split 1. And it looks like Noda is going to be your winner of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Roski is your champion. JJ splits the middle, gets past both drivers.